Hello everyone. Well, it's back. Yes, Hearts of Iron 3 has made a welcome return to the channel. And, as promised, I'm going to play Germany. Now, what we're going to do, obviously, is start off from the road to war. See, previously I played it on very easy, so I might just up it to one level. And we'll keep it in normal mode because then all the stuff that is associated with the supply and things of that nature is the way forward. So, I guess it's time to get into it then. So, looking forward to this. This should be fun. Hopefully, it's been a while since I played, so most of what I learned from the American campaign I should have remembered by now. So let's just make sure that there's music running as well. Yes, there is. So, let's see. More efficient laws, mixed industry. So let's have a look. So that means supplies will increase, consumer goods will go down, consumer goods during peacetime supply throughput will increase. We cannot afford it. Okay, so that's the reason why we can't do that law at this current moment. So, research is possible, we'll come back to that. And IC is being wasted. Oh, the Graf Spee, no less. So that's wonderful. You can see that's being built. That'll be ready March the 16th, 1936. And we've got a flotilla of submarines. Undersea boats, maybe? I don't know. I don't even want to pronounce that. So now, we're going to prioritize production for the time being. So, here's our technology screen, so we'll work on the technology in a second. So you can see the politics here. We've got old Adolf in there, old Mr. Schicklgruber, who's in there as the head of state. Now, obviously, because it's a totalitarian system, it's probably a little bit easier to control in that respect, so it's unlikely that these things are going to change around. Let's see, who can we put in as Minister of Security, because at the moment they got Wilhelm Frick, Blomberg in as Armament Minister, Neurath in as a Foreign Minister. Susceptibility to Axis. Okay, so that's good. So we've got obviously Wilhelm Canaris in as Head of Intelligence. So we'll leave that. Oh, von Hindenburg. Probably related to the ex-president, maybe. See, I can change Hitler to being the Chief of the Army if I want. Armour Practical Decay, Chief of the Navy Raider. So obviously, you know, I've got all these people. And Chief of the Air Force, there's old Goering in there as well. And other people like that. So that's fine as it stands. Intelligence. Now, let's see. You can see their strong tech, infantry theory, mobile unit and artillery. And they don't have a lot of air combat experience. So the Conservative Party is in charge. Now, we have detected spy activity. Now, what we need to consider is the grand plan. How are we going to progress? Now, let's do a little bit of map planning. Let's see. So, let's put the new plan in place and put some of these in. Let's have a look. We'll put them in red. Okay, so the problem is, obviously, they went originally. They went through the forests in France through this particular region in here. But what I'm thinking is to get round the Maginot Line, which is here. So if we just put that in there, So there's the Maginot Line there. Okay, so that's a line basically of forts. Okay, so that's going to cause us a problem. Let's just make sure. No, undo that one. That'll be thin. Okay, so we can't really push against that because we're going against land forts and it's going to be difficult. But if we were to maybe go through the likes of Belgium, like that, then that means that we could drop in behind the Maginot Line, like that. Also then start considering taking these ports and move down to Paris. So that's going to be kind of our plan as far as France is concerned. Now, obviously over here, we've got Hungary, Czechoslovakia. You can see we've already got the Sudetenland section around here. So you will have to wait and see, or at least we're close to getting it. So you can see some still Czechoslovakian forces. So we will obviously just, you know, make our way right down the middle and into Praha, I guess, which is their main section. We've got Anschluss as well, so we've got to obviously go in for Vine as well. So take these guys there. And obviously Hungary and Romania. Now the thing is, historically, one thing that happened is that Russia took Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania as part of the agreement they had to break up the centre of Poland. So if we look here, when we actually break through into Poland, see that we've still got this section over here. So there's like a cut-off section. So we could conceivably use that, but you can see there's a couple of our land forts. So we could push in like that, and then send another force down to Warsaw. Push another one in here, and then maybe push another one down the bottom. And then obviously we'll split Poland down the middle, hopefully, with the Russians. But it means that while I deal with all of these guys, now there's obviously England to deal with. So I'm thinking that I'll probably have to make a push over here like this. Try and take London, and then essentially just move up the country like that, and then jump from Scotland over to Northern Ireland, and then obviously take Dublin and then finish off that area. I don't know whether or not we're going to actually require Spain or anything along those lines. Now, obviously we're going to have to come to the assistance of Africa. Now, there's this section over here in France. See, I'm just debating how we're going to kind of work it. So what we'll do is we'll call this the grand plan. It'll be interesting to look back after a few episodes, or maybe towards the end of the series, how things turned out related to the grand plan. So that will be quite interesting to see. Now, so you can see also we'll have to, you know, take there. Whether or not we'll establish Vichy France, I don't know. But the problem is going to be also then America, because they're going to have Cook's Harbour over here in America. And if we then start trying to look at America, it's a possibility that we're going to have a struggle on our hands. So it might be that we look at invading the smaller countries here, these points here, El Salvador, Guatemala, places like that, push up through Mexico, and then start attacking the base here, Tucson and San Antonio, places like that, and then literally sort of make our way through here, that way, and that way. And then what we can do is move down, ensure that Florida is taken, and then move up towards Washington, and also, you know, move up the west coast, and then we can deal with the likes of Canada, because obviously what we're going to do is there's going to be the border there. So we will obviously need to push across there, But where is there? So there is Ottawa. So it could be that jumping off the back of this spot here into Boston, we could then conceivably do a jump into Ottawa and go on from there. Is there any other victory points in Canada? No, there's not really anything in Alaska other than, you know, snow and other stuff like that. So we're still paused at the moment. So there's nothing really there. Now, Africa. Do we have any? So that's French. That's Madagascar there. And no, is that Madagascar or is that Sri Lanka? I can never remember. Anyway, so the thing is, what I really want to do is get to a situation where, let me just change the colour so I can kind of draw your attention to it, is keep this section here and down to there very strong, so that the Russians don't get any idea of trying to push. Now, obviously, if I can get into the Black Sea and into this area here, the likes of Yalta and Sevastopol and stuff like that, they're going to have, if we look down here, there's going to be one of the major rivers and stuff like that. But the thing is, down in Romania, down in this sort of area, Ploesti, places like that, which I think is around here somewhere, they're going to have their oil fields. So oil will be key to the war. And if we can actually get in there and deny them their oil fields, then we could be in a good position. So if I make any kind of push into there as blue, then we could push, let's see, we could push in there like so, and then essentially deal a hammer blow like that into their oil fields, isolate them from their oil fields and also from Iraq and Persia. But then what we probably then have to do is make our way through Persia here and then isolate these areas here. But then obviously, yeah, these are the kind of things that we're looking at. So it's looking interesting. The potential for disaster is not far away, as you guys well know, with my abilities to play games. So we'll have to wait and see what turns out. Now, obviously, if we can get to a situation where all of Europe is essentially under my control, then I will be in a stronger position to create loads of forces. Now, obviously, if I can take Romania, because especially Bucharest, but they had, it was Czechoslovakia, I think it was, they had the Skunk Works factory, which enables you to actually probably increase the amount of forces, or just the general improvement of technology, plus all those Czechoslovakian forces would then become part of the German army. So that could turn out to be a very interesting situation. Obviously, you've got the Danes up here as well. We've got the Swedes. Norway became a little bit of a section. So you've obviously got Oslo there. But up here, Trondheim is where they kind of, the Allies attacked during World War II. And obviously Narvik is the other area. So it's a possibility that I may need to, once I've moved up here, like so, is that I then move all the way up and secure Norway. But the trouble is, if that's the case, I've then got to secure that port and that port against invasion from the Allies, because that's probably the kind of thing they're going to push for. And also, this is one of the main sections here for the Russians there. That's one of their main ports, Murmansk. So, you know, these are the kind of things. Archangel is another one that I would have to isolate and lock down, because then that would essentially remove any opportunity for them to get any kind of water forces. The Arctic convoys wouldn't be able to run. See, look, this section here, that's good. See, look, we've, well, that's Finland. So you see Finland out here, this little section here. So there could be, we'll get the Finns on our side. We'll have to wait and see, because they'll have various different resources. But need be, you know, we'll deal with that when and if the problem occurs. So that's kind of the grand plan. Now, what I will also need to do is create quite a few submarines. I think a lot of my research will need to go into submarines, because submarines is what I'll be able to use to create a stranglehold on England, essentially blockade them in so that they can't get any kind of resources. Now, obviously, if I take Iceland, that would help as well, because that was a jumping off point for the American forces and is also kind of the midpoint across the Atlantic. But then if I have wolf packs running around here, we can then start intercepting convoys and doing plenty of damage and essentially strangling England so that they're not in a position to fight back when we eventually do the invasion. So that's going to be options that we're going to look at. Now, obviously, let's see who's going to be. So I guess Austria, because what happened obviously is you know, they wanted to include Austria, so they've got these sections here that they wanted to include, and then Anschluss will occur, and then obviously I think they passed they gave an ultimatum to Austria saying, you know, become part of us or, you know, die, sort of thing. So what I might do is look to see what's going on with Austria. Now, they are currently, see, our neutrality is currently 60. So let's see is anybody a threat to us at the moment? So no one's a threat. So okay, now what we could do is we could increase the threat of Austria so that they appear to be, or we could get them to support our party. So essentially, we not force them, but we essentially, see, there's Miklas and Schlussnig, Wolneg, Rab. Oh God, I'm going to put annihilate those names. I'm sorry, everyone. And then essentially I want maximum domestic spies available to me, so I'll have 10, so that way we can detect any foreign fire or even any foreign spy in our area. So let's see, the Axis has not been formed. Now what I'm going to want to do is the allies of France, so we'll put France and England up to level 2. We'll put Russia up to level 2 as well. Now, Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Poland. So we'll put some more forces into there. Now, you'll see here counter-espionage will be the biggest focus, and support the ruling party, second biggest, raise national unity, third biggest. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll say that one, send the biggest spy priority to Austria at the moment. Now, so let's close that, switch off the plan, switch on that log, and let's check the selection. So this is obviously under radar, the main fleet, I would assume. So we've got heavy cruisers, the Deutschland, Admiral Scheer, Nürnberg, Leipzig, Königsberg, Köln. Oh, Jesus Christ, not even going to try and pronounce that. My apologies to those German listeners who are listening to me butcher their language mercilessly. I do humbly apologise. So, let's see. So there's also these two guys who are U-boats, so they can make their way out of there. And we've got another U-boat section, and then we've got the reserve flotilla. Now, switch that off, and let's see what we've got army-wise. So, here's the main headquarters in Berlin. Now, let's see. Yeah, he looks to be theatre commander. So let's have a look at our theatre map mode. So we've got this section here, which will be obviously dealing with this theatre here, And then Hanover, in this one over here, will be dealing with this theatre, OB West. And then I guess that's OB East. Yeah. So, currently they have no leader, so we'll need to deal with that. But I'm just wondering if that's too much, that maybe I need to move him down. I mean, he is based in Hanover. So maybe I need to bring him down to Frankfurt. See, let's compare Frankfurt. Infrastructure, buildings is good. See, so technically speaking, I could move this guy down to Frankfurt, and it might be a better option for the commanding officer to be there, but then it increases these lines here. So maybe what I need to do is consider having a commander down here to deal with the south section of the Western Command. So we'd leave that guy there, have a southern section and a northern section, and then sort of break that theatre down so that, you know, these guys are being dealt with by a guy down here, and these guys are being supplied by a guy down there. So that could be something that we could look at doing. Now, Diplo. Let's find out what Diploing is going on. Now, let's see. Currently, we are on our own. Current relations. So, let's have a look. So, you can see their current relations. We are no threat to them. And neutrality. And, let's see. United Kingdom. Allied with plenty of people, as you can see. Blah, 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 blah. So, let's see. Austria. They are neutral. They are no threat to us at the moment. So, let us automate trade. So, here you go. Here are all the options. So, the Anschluss of Austria, which is basically union of Austria and Germany after Adolf, as they like to call him, became German Chancellor. So that's 1938. Schuschnigg there was invited in. So you can see here, Germany loses, gain 5 in dissent, and Germany loses 15 in neutrality. Relation with France, United Kingdom, Italy, Czechoslovakia, Hungary already changes. I get more threat, and you can see there certain gain call, and you can see France loses neutrality. Italy also loses neutrality. So there's the reoccupation of the Rhineland, and that's obviously going to make major changes there. And when's that? That's 1935. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Blitzkrieg, obviously. Must be at war with France and Poland, but I do not control Paris and is at peace with the Soviet Union. So, what we need to do... So, we don't have enough diplomatic points. So, what we need to do is start playing around with some of our politics, sliders and production and all the rest of it. So, okay. Where the bloody hell is it? It's been so long. So, here you go. So, here you go. We've got diplomacy, espionage and research. So, I'm kind of keeping that, see, at that level. Officer ratio above 120%, that's fine. Monthly change, fractured government. So it is changing slightly. Diplomatic influence. And espionage is damn near nothing. So, we need to increase the espionage. And we'll lock that in place. And we need to increase the research. So we'll put that to 12, I think. Now, my main focus is going to be, obviously, tanks, because of the Blitzkrieg. And also, it's going to be the likes of submarines. So, if we look at naval, what are our options? Sea lane defense. No. Where is it? So there's Escort. Submarine technology. So these are all things that we will do by 1937. It's currently January the 1st, 1936. So you can see there goes sonar detector equipment. Things of that nature. Now, What we'll need to do is, you can see we've got the census tabulation machine, which helps research efficiency. We won't be able to get that until 1940. So you can see there's plenty in here. Now, you can see all of this stuff, compared to America, which was back at 1918 standards, we're actually pretty up to speed in this respect. So it's not looking too bad. Now, you can see their education, which is currently at a level 5. And you've got agriculture, first aid, combat medicine, industrial production. And then obviously there's all these things which are pretty good. So, let's see. Heavy cruisers, nothing there at the moment. Let's just get an idea on what's going on. Fighters, okay, so we've got single engine, advanced, no, we can't build any of that. Multi-role fighter development. Let's get that into place. Now we'll be ahead of time, so we'll get a warning about that inefficient research. See? So that multi-role fighter development is ahead of time. Now, let's have a look. Radar 1939. That will be a helpful thing to have. We can't build any of that as of yet. So, submarine engineering research. That's what we're after. Let's put that to the top. And let's see. Automotive, mobile warfare. Light and mobile ground troops, specific technologies. So I think we want that. Not that one, that. So we'll put that one up one, that one up one. And let's see. Aeronautic. And naval engineering. Mechanical, electronic, chemical. I'm putting all of these in there. So, let's see. Mobile warfare. Infantry warfare, central planning, mass assaults. Large fronts, guerrilla warfare. So you can see all of this is pretty up to date. The air here. See, there's... there we go. Fighter ground control unit needs to be upgraded. And some of this, see port strike tactics. Naval air targeting. So let's look in here on the infantry. Because what we're looking for is to get an idea of what's good. Now, the thing is, you can see here, medium tanks, 1936, yeah. So, we need to have some more research on that. See. So, these tell you, essentially, human wave doctrine. So, you see all the anti-tank stuff, rocket artillery, but I'm going to need to actually get these up to level 2. So, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that right up the top. So that we can then start increasing the tank reliability, get a heavy tank brigade in there as well, and then essentially start improving the tanks. Now obviously the escorts, are they all okay time wise? Yeah. Capital ships, they're all up to 1936. The aircraft technology, see, that's going to require escort carrier technology. See that one there? Let's put that in as well. So you can see all this aircraft carrier armour. Because if I remember rightly, I don't think Germans had any aircraft carriers. It was only the Japanese that had the aircraft carriers. And that will be a very helpful thing to have. So, you've got all this stuff here. Twin engine aircraft. 4-engined airframe. So much to research. So much to research. Now, that will increase that. So they've got that one. So these are 1936, so they should be okay. And they're all okay. So fighters, anything in there? No, that's pretty much everything. Industry, yeah, we can't really do anything there beyond what's already been done. Secret, no research possible there at the moment, because obviously we don't have civil and nuclear research done yet. So if we look here, see nuclear research, physics and stuff like that, so that's already being dealt with. Now, land. See, infantry warfare, mass assault, storm it regardless of losses, yeah. Central planning, see that increases toughness and counterattacks. Assault concentration, look at that. Yeah, very broad front, that would be a helpful thing to have. See, all of these ones that are Schwerpunkt. Morale of tank brigades, want that. But that's like really, really hard to research. You can see that the difficulty of 10, which is just brutal. So, central planning, put that in. A little bit more resistant to damage. Let's put that in as well. Okay, so there's nothing to worry about there. And obviously we've done the only 9, or we got these 2 to deal with here. So, but to be honest, we've got so much. We've got like 25 projects out of 12 available right now. So if we just move it all up, that'll decrease the amount of officers available. See, 3.7 officers. We need at least to have to remain at 1400. There we go. So descent is actually going down. Espionage should start going up. And let's see, we're using supplies. So plans are afoot, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's a good way to end the first episode. The plans, everything put into place, and going from there, really. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of the new series as we play as Germany. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you again soon.